You know that moment when you suddenly have the prospect's attention? You know it's fleeting, but you've got them for maybe 15 seconds, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. What do you say? I find that this is where many salespeople fumble around with these long-winded, meandering monologues that just confuse the prospect. And your ability to explain what you do and then engage your prospect in a conversation in under 20 seconds is so critical. And so that's why I'm going to show you a few examples by industry of the kinds of value propositions that truly engage prospects in high quality conversations. These are some of my clients' value propositions that we literally put together, and I'm going to show you exactly how they work. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 value proposition examples that you can copy and use that engage prospects and close deals. Check it out. Number 1, the marketing space. Now, I'm actually going to use the value proposition for our outbound prospecting agency that we have to give you an example of how you might use a value proposition in the marketing space. So the value proposition goes something like this. Salesprospects.io is a full-service outbound sales prospecting agency that generates ultra high-quality leads for our clients. And clients tend to come to us when their sales teams struggle to generate enough leads to hit goal, they're frustrated by the quality of leads coming through the door, or finally, they just don't see a strong ROI on lead generation efforts. Do any of those issues ring true to you? Now, when we analyze that value proposition, what you see is there's basically one sentence that lays out what we do, who we are, and what we do. And then there's the challenges that we basically solve, the reasons that people come to us. And what we're doing is we're laying out marketing, or in this case, sales marketing challenges around getting enough leads. And then lastly, you'll see that we dig into, do any of these issues ring true to you? Now, you may have to rewind this video and go back and watch it again. And I'm also going to walk you through a bunch more examples in different spaces that are going to show you a very similar pattern that I think you're going to be able to start to copy and create for your own world. Number 2, the financial space. Now, this is an example from a client that I've covered up their name, but here it goes. XYZ Wealth Advisors helps clients make smart financial decisions. And clients typically come to us when they don't know if they're getting the right return on their money. They're concerned about whether they're prepared for the next downturn, or finally, they have a complex collection of random accounts in different places. Do any of those challenges ring true to you? Now, again, what you're seeing is a pretty consistent pattern, right? A simple sentence of who we are and what we do. And then the lists of challenges that people face. And one thing that I want to point out about the challenges in this particular value proposition is they're really simple. In the financial planning, financial advisor space, there tends to be a lot of jargon that people love to throw around, big fancy words that really intimidate and ultimately turn off prospects. And so what you want is to have that value proposition that's really simple. It just makes sense, right? That last one. Or they just have a random collection of accounts in different places. It's really just something that the typical retiree is saying to themselves, yeah, that's exactly what we have. And then we're closing it with, do any of these challenges ring a bell with you? Again, engaging them in the conversation. Number 3, the import space. Again, this is another example taken from one of my clients. We changed the name so that way it anonymizes it. XYZ Imports works with large importers, manufacturers, and retailers to source specialty food ingredients out of South America. Our clients tend to come to us when they're frustrated by an unreliable supply of goods out of South America. They have persistent quality issues in their supply, or lastly, they're just finding it difficult dealing with different cultures, languages, and time zones. Do any of those issues ring true to you? Now, you're probably listening to that and saying, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, of course, but this client is not selling to you, they're selling to importers who really do have those issues. And so again, what we're doing is we're laying out those challenges that this type of a big manufacturer that's having trouble with the South American culture or issues They're trying to figure this all out. And so when they hear something like that, they're like, yes, that makes sense. It's exactly what we're dealing with. And it engages them in the conversation, which again is why we finish any value proposition with, do any of those issues ring true to you? Just engaging them, sucking them into the conversation. Number 4, the landscape space. I have a client who runs a landscape organization, and this is something that we put together, and it's, I think, really kind of different than your typical landscape type of a value proposition. So it reads something like this. I am a horticultural strategist partnering with companies to create green, organic work environments. Our clients come to us when they're worried that their appearance has lost its wow factor, they're frustrated with their existing providers' lack of consistency in maintaining a green workspace, or finally they're concerned that they're just no longer getting the promised white glove service. Do any of those issues ring true to you? Now again, this is a client who is selling to large buildings and developers and hotels, let's say. And so it's mostly for indoor landscape work. And so what they're doing is they're really trying to suck the potential buyer in to the fact that they look around their space and they're like, this is not getting it done. Another thing that you will notice is that he used the term that he is a horticultural strategist. Now that's a mouthful. But what I like about that word is that no one really knows exactly what that means. In their space, they'll know that the word horticulture means that it has to do with plants and landscape. But other than that, it's not like a typical term. So there's no way to immediately cut them off and just put them in a box. And that's a really beautiful thing. It gets the prospect to open up right away. Number 5, the consulting space. This is a value proposition that I took from another one of the clients in our forum, in the Sales Strategy Academy forum, and I really liked it. He writes, we are a business strategy firm that works with catering companies to create a game plan that dramatically helps them book more events throughout the year. Our clients come to us when they've hit a wall and can't seem to book more events. They don't have time to seek more opportunities, or finally they're just short of staff to handle more volume without going insane. Do any of those issues ring true to you? Now, what I liked about this one, and this is not one that we really worked together on, this is one that was developed within the community, getting feedback in the forum, but I really liked it because, first of all, it laid out very specifically who they work with, which is kind of niche, right? The catering space. And then it laid out problems that really are going to connect with your typical caterer who's saying, yeah, we don't have enough leads, or we're not getting enough events. Right? So it's not even using the jargon of leads, it's about events, and that's ultimately what they care about. And so this is something that's really going to engage that right prospect. Now, looking at your own value proposition, how can you take these ideas and lay out your value proposition? Again, if you're not sure exactly how to structure it, go back through and copy that same structure. So there are the 5 value proposition examples that you can copy and use that engage prospects and close more deals. I want to hear from you. Which of these ideas did you find most useful? Be sure to share below in the comments section to get involved in the conversation. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have an awesome free ebook on 25 tips to crush your sales goals. Just click right here to get it instantly, somewhere around here. Seriously, just click right here. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube. It really helps me out. And be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking to my face right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.